600,120 credits. Not a bad take. I did at one point have over 2 million credits to my name, which isn't a bad thing at all. But that's only up here in the upper right hand corner. My company balance is still only at 434,800 credits, but we are going to work on that. We're going to spend that money responsibly, and we're going to be doing that with the H125 in a cargo configuration. These missions can be done very quickly for very little money. When I have this base in the Gulf of Mexico, the amount of missions that I can go through on a daily basis with this helicopter are nothing short of everything we need it to be. I'm always going to come in and manage this fuel, make sure that I have, some in there. You can sell it if you want to. And we're just going to go ahead and fly another mission to see just how quickly we can earn well over 100,000 for more than one aircraft. How long does it take to be able to purchase another aircraft? I've been able to do it in less than a day. I now have 6 aircraft in my hangar. Six aircraft all working passively, doing exactly what I need them to do. And these cargo missions right here are absolutely everything they should be. Thanks for joining along this morning. We're going to take a ride in the old H125. I like to make sure that I'm trying to stay as close to a startup procedure as I possibly can here without getting a little bit too crazy.
Engine started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
I like to make it pretty quick.
Copy that we're getting in position.
These do not take long.
The crew has prepared the pickup deck in your heli. The service tanker just arrived. We need to send them a faulty power unit set for repair.
The time it takes to get these done is well worth the effort. Now I've been exploring with this view and this view, and it's becoming a little bit interesting getting these to work properly. They're supposed to be presets saved for like pilot views, and they don't really work. I'm not sure what's going on with this system just yet, but I would like to be able to save these views for when I'm doing these inside, but that is for another day. It's all about making money today. Can I change the liveries on purchased aircrafts? Not as of yet. Telemark, welcome back. Good to see you again, my friend. I have not been able to change any of my liveries yet. It does say you can repaint them, but all that does is kind of help you with the maintenance of the aircraft and upkeep.
Hello in perfect position. Don't move.
For both the aircraft you're flying and the aircraft that you're flying passively.
All cargo secured and balanced, ready for departure.
There has been talk that that will be available in the future, but I haven't seen it yet. We're supposed to be able to put our own liveries on there and all kinds of good stuff.
Giant 2 cargo everywhere leaving port with 2 packs en route to deposit zone. Load 2,205 pounds.
Cargo everywhere Giant 2 will go. Safe flight back.
Now, when it says it's over 2,000 pounds, you really need to be aware of how much weight you are slinging in these configurations. Notice the angle of my slack line. I'm moving relatively quickly, but I don't want to get that thing more than 30 to 40 degrees. 45 would be pushing it. But I want to be able to get there relatively quickly. I'm going to zoom the camera out as I approach.
Requesting clearance to engage offload operation.
Green deck permission to engage offload ops.
We'll make a great team with this Hello. Don't worry, Charlie. We'll treat you right. Won't we, Captain? Yeah, I know. I call it Charlie. It's like it's alive.
It's like it's alive. It's Charlie. Charlie in the chocolate factory. If we can't change liveries now, it should just have been gray. That brown color is bad.
Net unstowed, load secure.
Yeah, it's not exactly the greatest. These constant low rumbles of the cargo hitting do seem to be happening quite a bit. And what I'm going to expect after this mission is actually a low grade for my cargo integrity. If there's a bug in the system, that would kind of be what it is. But at the end of the day, I honestly don't matter that much. Or I should say it doesn't matter. I matter, but it doesn't. Because the payday is still there. But I'll probably, at the end of this mission, take a hit for the integrity of the cargo. Even though it looked pretty good, I heard a couple of extra little thumps in there.
Lots of new faces down there. Hopefully they're prepared. If not, we could be in trouble.
That message is coming in a little bit late.
The tanker crew is heading out and sends their compliments for this efficient operation. Drop by later and we'll go over these outstanding stats together.
I'm curious about what
Probably
they're going
send
to do
everything
with
for
what we've just
recycling or
dropped.
maintenance.
Anyway, it wouldn't be fun
For
getting
sure.
lost in this area. Conditions get to be rough when the weather turns bad.
The other thing that's really great about these missions is those overlapping comms. Sometimes you'll even hear the comms coming back and talking to you about search and rescue missions. Some of the SAR missions that we're doing have the exact same communications in them, overlapping with these cargo hook missions. Slightly comical. Again, in the interest of aircraft maintenance, I am going to wait until this number here on my RPM does come down. This helps out immensely with maintenance costs. If you wait until these actually meet your aircraft's standards for post-flight shutdown, you can see that this one is a RPM of 140. Make sure you're keeping track of that, and your maintenance will be in a much better position the following day. I recommend also keeping up with maintenance more than you would naturally think to. If you want to do it every other mission, that's probably a good idea. If you're still doing the maintenance, but you're seeing your aircraft start to never get a clean paint job and it's always full of filth, it's time to replace the aircraft before it becomes a unflyable aircraft. The maintenance on these is actually quite important. Just recently, when I bought the last H125 in my series, what I noticed is that with that aircraft, even though I brought it brand new, the paint job when it came into the simulator for its first mission was just full of just all kinds of garbage. Like, it was already used, it was not a new aircraft. Shortly after that, one flight in, it already needed maintenance. So I have a feeling if I would have gone into that and just immediately repainted the helicopter as soon as I bought it, I wouldn't have encountered that. A nice take, 98% precision, 100% integrity. I really enjoy that. Even though I heard those extra bumps in there, I still got 100% for integrity. Execution time is at 94%. I'm loving it. I appreciate the little comment right there, Telemark. It's always fun to have you guys along for the ride. And earning these things at $158,000 per mission is a phenomenal way to make it through. What kind of missions are you working on, Telemark? These are consumables for Valeris 75 oil rig team. 2 nautical miles away, $100 to get there. Woo, hurt me. See, now I am not going to maintain the aircraft this time through to a full extent. But what I will do is, again, is come into the management, fuel and payload. I'm going to manage the fuel and actually back some of this out because I'm never going to need that much fuel. So we can actually sell that, but still have enough in the aircraft to complete the mission. We can go back. Could have just done this from in there, but yes. Okay, at this point, I'm going to wash. And not do an update. I'm just going to fly. Breezy day out here on the rig. snappy graphics. Doesn't take long to do these checks, but I believe it is worth it when it comes to the maintenance of your aircraft.
Engines started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
Copy that we're getting in position.
In, out, and done. You're doing mostly the heli sling and cargo and search and rescue. You're going to take my okay, your IFR rating so that you can fly at night. Believe it or not, I have actually done that trying to fool the system.
The replenishment tanker is stationed nearby. They need to get our defective generator on board.
So what I thought I would do is actually leave the simulator in a pause mode overnight while I was in the middle of a search and rescue mission, just to see if like I would be able to get like a 9-hour passive income. No, it didn't work. But I did come back to the end of that mission at night. I just had to pause the sim long enough. But so far, turning back that clock hasn't worked. I know it's a thing that's definitely coming down the line, but I don't know if you've ever tried to fly these in a free flight around these oil rigs, but the lighting around these is something to certainly look forward to when actually conducting these missions at night. It's going to look good.
You're in the perfect position. Keep it steady. Load checks and security done. Liftoff okay.
I do want to get into the construction side of this too with the Ericsson. One thing that I've noticed recently is that there is always this special mission that's unavailable.
With 2 packs en route to deposit zone. Load 441 pounds.
Yes, I do
Cargo
use a
everywhere,
collector.
Roger that. Fly safe.
I have a Thrustmaster T16000M with collective, cyclic, and pedals. Starting to get a little bit tight on that angle. I need to slow that bird down just a little bit before we get things out of control. I'm moving a little bit too quickly right now. I don't mind the gold color as much because this thing has actually turned out to be gold for me. This thing is making money really, really quickly. And it's quite a bit of fun to play. Once you actually fly these things and you get used to how the sling load works.
Buddy's in good hands with us, right, Captain? Yeah, I call it Buddy. Just an old habit.
I'm looking forward to really speeding these things up too and trying to like super quickly do these things accurately. Loaded in a mission at a platform, and the heli is just flying and hopping in the air and down to the helipad. Tips. My biggest tip would be to
Requesting
reinstall the
clearance to
simulator
engage
completely.
offload operation.
I know it sounds extreme, but that is what worked for me.
Green deck permission to engage offload ops.
I've even been getting these strange messages when I come into the simulator if it wants me to use a old version or a new version lately. And it's like, well, as far as I know, there's only one version on my machine. And that's only after like an update is pushed or something on the server side of things is even being pushed through by the team. That's when those messages are happening, and that's when things in the simulator start to go back to hopping. But if at that point I take the time to do a clean reinstall of the simulator and come back in, make sure my DLSS is back in order and all that stuff
Lots
is
of new faces down there. Hopefully they're
configured
prepared.
prior,
If not, we could be in trouble.
the next time I load into the simulator, I want to. Microsoft pushing out corrupt data, basically. A little bit harsh on the landing.
Net unstowed, load secure.
You could also just try to do a simple restart on the mission. If you don't want to go that far right away, try to do a restart. And in your second attempt at the mission, see if you get a different result. Which platform are you experiencing that at? Because each one of these platforms has different ground physics and the whole 9 yards. Sometimes you can actually just go to a different platform nearby instead, like take a little hit and abort that mission and go to a different one. It's happening in Norway. Okay, on these platforms, there's more in Norway, huh? Interesting. I haven't been there yet. But I did just drop a second 125 into the Gulf of Mexico today. But try a different platform too. I mean, if you don't want to go that far right away, just see what happens on a different platform.
I'm
How do we
curious about
send
what they're going
everything
to
for
do with what we
recycling or
just dropped.
maintenance?
Anyway, I wouldn't
For
like getting
sure.
lost around here. Conditions must be pretty tough in bad weather.
The tanker crew is heading out and sends their compliments for this efficient operation. Drop by when you're ready. We'll go over these stats together. You'll be happy with them. Trust me.
Trust me. Trust me. Well, I'm actually not far away from being able to purchase another one of these, and what I'm actually very tempted to do is sell my Cabri, which I've just kept for flight seeing purposes, because why not? They're actually cheap to maintain, and it's not bad to get into one of those every once in a while and just take a nice little slow flight around, doing some flight seeing. But what I'm very tempted to do is actually ditch that bird for another 125 and put that into Norway. That's awesome that you live there, my man. I'm just a little bit jealous that that's the case, because that place is absolutely beautiful. Seeing the lady saying the same thing every time. It's ridiculous, right? One thing that I could do, though, is actually I could just turn those volumes down in the settings. I've thought about it. What I've thought about doing is actually doing some voiceovers of my own to kind of insert over the different part of these missions. Throw a little bit of humor into it. It's such an empty shell. The 145 is such a better platform for search and rescue missions. I want that cross into career mode. I want that ability. 90% for precision, 100 on integrity, execution time, almost 90. Gonna take another S. Not as much money, but still, all those things are running passively in the background at the same time, and I'm just keeping my pilot rating in an S all the time. Where are we at? Are we in a positive are we in positive money yet? It is. Where's the money? It didn't even show it. There we go. Almost. The HPG is a lot of fun to fly, my man. I've had a couple of requests to try to do some of those missions out in the middle of the ocean, like on the Scotland coast. I'm really thinking about doing that live one of these days. I think if I sell the Cabri, it's only a couple $100,000. So if I want to put another bird in the air, I need another 600,000 at least. I want to be over the 2 million mark, maybe like the 2.3 million mark when I do that. Do you have the H160 telemark? Because if you want to talk about a really great bird to fly, it's the 160. See, every other time I'm going to do this maintenance because now I can see that I have something wrong with the engine. I'm also fixing the engine of the aircraft that I'm doing passively, so to speak, but to a percentage of wear or tear, as they call it. I'm going to wash it one more time, and it's all about maintaining your aircraft. Every other time is about the right consistency. Spend the money. It's worth it. And then once you see that aircraft never getting clean, it's time to sell it. I love the clouds, man. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Quick in and out missions, man.
Engines started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
Copy that we're getting in position.
They were supposed to have a search and rescue variant of the H162, but that has never been made available.
The supply ship has moored not far from us. They're bringing us a new gen set.
Or at least I should say yet.
Poseidon 10, cargo everywhere, leaving Enterprise 253 port with 2 packs. Reaching pickup zone in approximate 30 seconds.
Cargo everywhere, this is Poseidon 10 Wilco. 30 seconds up. Wind 0 knots. 2 packs on board. No refueling required.
Like to make the horseshoe around these. Make sure you get that pickup area approach. Turn that nose around and orientate yourself back towards your drop-off.
Poseidon 10 cargo everywhere requesting pickup clearance.
These larger
Green deck,
loads
everything cleared now.
with these big pipes tend to be some of my favorite. I really do want to get used to flying these from inside, but right now, I mean, just getting these done at all.
Yeah, I gave it a nickname, but sometimes it's like it's an old friend. I'm sure you feel the same way too, Captain.
Getting it done at all matters. We'll get to the inside cabin view later.
You're in the perfect position. Keep it steady. Load secure and balanced, ready for liftoff.
Looking at that shadow of the cord and making sure that you're not putting too much tension on it too quickly, and that it's coming up nice and straight is extremely important. And you have to fly this basically like a spring stick.
Poseidon 10 cargo everywhere, leaving port with 2 packs en route to Enterprise 253 platform. Load 1,543 pounds.
And I don't believe the
Cargo
weight of that.
everywhere will go. Fly safe.
Doesn't feel like that. It feels like a lot more than 1,000 pounds.
Lots of new faces down there. Hopefully they are prepared. If not, we could be in trouble.
One of these days, what we're going to have to do is get into some group flights and do some HEMS missions in the 145 together. Because you can use that HYPE operations center to create missions. And then you can connect to that and fly those missions. And I'm thinking we might be able to do that in a shared environment.
In position. Clearance to proceed. Offload.
So, you know, it's going to usually put me really close to the tower when it wants me to drop, where it wants me to drop this load. Take it.
Hook removed, load secure.
We can tick that box, and now's time for the debrief.
Butter. It's butter. It's easy money. These are just easy money. What I believe, I was talking about this earlier, is that special mission that is never available. That's the Ericsson Sky Crane doing fire missions. That's that special mission. So my thinking right now is that what I want to do is just start to get a really good base of these 125s, probably running cargo and search and rescue around the planet. Both of them. And just continually increasing my fleet until I'm earning approximately a little bit over $1 million a day. Only passively.
I'm
On
curious
top of what I'm making as a
We'll
pilot
have
doing
power
that.
again for our
Anyway,
morning
I wouldn't
coffee.
like getting lost around here.
For sure.
Conditions must be pretty tough in bad weather.
Right. Then what I want to do I don't even know. But there's got to be a way to generate more search and rescue missions on the planet, because right now, even though I have several search and rescue helicopters, one with a hoist and one without, around the planet, the missions are still very slim. So I'm just going to keep buying these until I get $1 million a day passively. Then I'm going to keep making that $1 million a day every day until I can afford a sky crane. The sky crane is no cheap endeavor. Even though these are 109,000 per, and these aircraft are all making money passively at the same time, when I come into these companies and I want to create a new company of aerial construction, this is a $35 million aircraft that is going to have maintenance costs that I mean, I can't even wrap my head around. But this is, I think, where we're also going to go, because I want some of these running passively in the background too. what's interesting is that it's winter right now, and California doesn't have any type of... Well, this is construction, but right now, man, California could use some Erickson Sky Crane aerial firefighting, which we don't even see as an option. However, in the cutscenes, we have seen it. So I believe that once we actually own this, we're going to see that we'll have the ability to unlock that special mission that never, ever becomes available. In the meantime, mo money. Already back up to a $1.1 million credit score for the overall. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. 20 credits to move the chopper. Hurt me. Fuel payload for this one. We're gonna again manage that fuel. We're gonna bring it down a little bit. Sell that off. Fly that bird. Rinse, repeat.
Engines started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
Copy that we're getting in position.
Crew has checked your chopper and secured the helideck. The backup boat is anchored just a few cables away. We need to hook and bring a gen set to the drop zone indicated on your map.
Just a few cables away. I love it. Where was the linguist when they put this together? On vacation, apparently. It's beautiful stuff.
Poseidon 12, cargo everywhere, leaving Enterprise 209 helideck with 2 packs. Approaching the pickup zone in 30 seconds.
Cargo everywhere. This is Poseidon 12, Wilco. 30 seconds up. Winds 5 knots. 2 packs on board. No refueling required.
Just a ton of anti-aliasing in the water, though. That's the one thing that I don't like. I would almost rather see a bunch of waves out there instead of these 1 to 2 footers.
Poseidon 12 cargo everywhere requesting pickup clearance.
Green deck, everything cleared now. I'm really fond of this bird. It's a real beauty. You'll see, buddy, we'll take great care of you. Yeah, I gave it a nickname, but sometimes it's like it's an old friend. I'm sure you feel the same way too, Captain. You're in the perfect position. Keep it steady.
I love the way the slack line just kind of whips
Load
itself
checks
on
and
top of the
security
cargo.
done. Lift off okay.
Well, there you go, man. Deleted it and downloaded it again, man. It's a good idea. At the same time, man, make sure your graphics drivers are up to date.
Poseidon 12 cargo everywhere leaving port with 2 packs en route to Enterprise 209 platform. Load 661 pounds.
Cargo everywhere, Poseidon 12 Wilco. Safe flight back. Lots of new faces down there. Hopefully, they are prepared. If not,
In position.
we could be in trouble.
Clearance to proceed. Offload.
Green deck permission to engage offload ops.
Trying to get that to re-steady underneath the helicopter is a real art form. Anticipating its swing and getting it back underneath you is it's so much fun to learn. What a challenging career this has to be. I mean, this is so dangerous when you really think about what is happening here. And that aerial construction industry. I'm looking forward to getting better at doing those high tension wire assemblies.
Net unstowed, load secure.
We can tick that box, and now it's time for the debrief.
Another one bites the dust. I'll leave the battery on. It's the only way the engine really spools down. Gotta have that battery connected for your rotor brake to work. Cargo everywhere, man. She's working well. I'm liking it. Just money, money, money. A cup of coffee for the pilot. Is this the first time you've ever tried to uninstall and reinstall your sim, Telemark? $78 for precision. It looks a little better than that. I'll take it. It's probably still going to be close to an S or an S. I'll take it. Why not? Doesn't really seem to be that hard at this point. Even though it was only 61,000 this time around, again, I'm still keeping it in an S. I took a little bit of a hit there, but not too bad. So that insurance rating is staying there. One thing that's also important is to make sure that your insurance rating stays there when the UTC 0 midnight hour comes up and you are getting paid out. Let's see what we got now. Still no VIP charter. 3 cargo missions running simultaneously. I got 1 sightseeing Cabri in the background because why not? And then the search and rescue side of things, I'm running 2, and you can see that there are 2 different variants, 1 rescue and 1 rescue hoist. I'm gonna need a couple more million to get another one of those. So the missions just keep coming. Back up to 119 for this one. It's gonna cost me a whopping 10 credits to get there. And I know that I should be making well over 600,000 tomorrow with my passive income. Rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. In doing this, I'll be able to purchase a new aircraft almost daily as long as I can put the time into the simulator. We're going to do the update every other time. I'm going to even delegate the maintenance. I got an extra 8, 9, I got an extra 9 grand laying around. Why not? I'm going to wash it. I'm going to keep this thing in good condition before I get back in the air with it. It's not that expensive to maintain my aircraft. I love it. You can see the slack line out of the back of the helicopter already moving in the wind.
Engines started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
Copy that we're getting in position.
I might put a little more fuel in this thing. That didn't look all that promising.
Here's the deal today, team. It's time to pick up the massive load at the oil rig located near Tanker. We need to hook and bring a gen set to the drop zone indicated on your map.
She called it a massive load. massive, man. So massive.
Rounder 2, cargo everywhere, leaving Enterprise 251 port with 2 packs. Reaching pickup zone in approximate 30 seconds.
Cargo everywhere, this is Grounder 2, received. 30 seconds up. Winds 17 knots. 2 packs on board. No refueling required.
Nope. Just a bunch more money.
Rounder 2 cargo everywhere requesting pickup clearance.
Green deck, everything cleared now. Spot on hold position.
I love this Hello. It's a beast. Charlie's in good hands with us, right, Captain?
Stuff okay.
Yeah, I call it Charlie. Just an old habit.
How old of a habit is it that you call this thing Charlie? Just how old is it? See, there's a little bump, but it's not even off the ground yet. You know what I mean? Like those little early thumps in the sound are a little weird. I love how the people go up above the chopper every once in a while too. The ground crew.
We're leaving with 2 packs. Heading to deposit zone. Enterprise 251. Load 2,205 pounds. In position. Clearance to proceed offload.
Green deck permission to engage offload ops.
Lots of new faces down there. Hopefully they are prepared. If not, we could be in trouble.
Maybe about an 89% accuracy.
Net unstowed, load secure.
That's one item off the list. Work's moving along nicely. Time for a good break now, guys.
Next. Who needs a break? At at 100K a pop. I think I'll just keep her on missions, thank you. I should be in a new H125, hopefully the hoist configuration here pretty soon. I want another one of those. I want more than one. Let those engines spool down. It is worth your time. Inside that EFB.
So just replace it, and we'll have power again for our morning coffee.
Anyway, I wouldn't like getting lost.
For
There's
sure.
140.
Conditions must be pretty tough and bad. Weather.
Not in any high wind conditions today, so 140 it is. One and done. In, out, and done. These are just money, money, money. $67 for integrity. How dare you? What? You do you, boo. I don't care either way. Gonna go back to the bank for a second. Don't care. Still got 154. Thanks. A little bit of a hit, but still at an S. I'm okay with it. Passively moving right along. I'm already at the 229 mark. Right? But for these specializations even, when you're in the rotorcraft, there is no version here that says aerial firefighting. It's just not a thing. Even in the aerial construction, if you know what I mean, there's nothing here that says anything about aerial firefighting. I believe that is an important part of the search and rescue sort of operations. And I bet it's going to make a boatload of money. We're going to first work our way up to an Ericsson. Which is several tens of millions of dollars. But I'm not worried about it. I got time. Thanks for the extra 1,400. I'll wait one more time before I do some maintenance. Shrek? Really? This is wrong.
Engines started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
Copy that we're getting in position.
Fired up.
As you've noticed, this mission is far from routine. The replenishment tanker is stationed nearby. We need to hook and bring a gen set to the drop zone indicated on your map.
Far from routine. She is obviously not paying attention. Get all those numbers working. Make sure that you're ready to go.
Loader 14, cargo everywhere, leaving Enterprise 173 port with 2 packs. Reaching pickup zone in approximate 30 seconds.
Cargo everywhere. This is Loader 14, roger. 30 seconds up. Winds 12 knots. 2 packs on board. No refueling required.
And these missions just seem to be endless. There's so many of them. The difference between these and search and rescue missions is what's keeping me from buying more 125 search and rescue choppers. So far. They do earn a relatively similar amount of money. And I think that's all about the difficulty rating of the missions.
Loader 14 cargo everywhere requesting pickup clearance.
Green deck, everything cleared now.
I'm really fond of this bird. It's a real beauty. You'll see Bob. We'll take great care of you. Yeah, I gave it a nickname, but sometimes it's like it's an old friend. I'm sure you feel the same way too, Captain.
An old,
You're in the perfect
annoying
position.
friend.
Keep it steady. Cargo properly secured. Weight distribution on point for a safe flight.
Loader 14 cargo everywhere. We're leaving with 2 packs. Heading to deposit zone. Enterprise 173. Load 882 pounds.
Cargo everywhere, Loader 14, roger. Safe flight back.
That's a light load right there. Not even 1,000 pounds. And there's a much different flight characteristic with this than there would be with those larger tubes that weigh, you know, in excess of 2,000. It's a completely different flight model.
In position. Clearance to proceed. Offload.
Lots of new faces down there. Hopefully, they are prepared. If not, we could be in trouble.
Slowly trying to bring that thing under control. I got the crane in a really bad spot right here. Dude's just floating down. I love this. He's just floating. Keep walking, buddy.
Net unstowed, load secure.
Great work today.
I love it.
You've all earned a break, guys.
Easy money. Centurion, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment, sir. It's a very easy way to make money as far as I'm concerned. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but if you've ever ventured into what a spring stick is, it's basically what the 125 feels like after a while. And it works for these missions quite well. I started out really not liking this 125, but this thing is growing on me. It's one of my favorite choppers so far. It's so maneuverable. You can get it into a hands-off hover every once in a while if you're careful.
I'm curious about what they're going to do
so
with
just
what we
replace
just
it, and we'll
dropped.
have power again.
Anyway,
for
it wouldn't
morning
be
coffee.
fun getting lost in this area.
For sure.
Conditions get to be rough when the weather turns bad.
These graphics are phenomenal, though. Look at what's going on out here. I'd like to be seeing some of these winches and everything in the background in motion. But maybe I'm asking too much. The H125 is a great helicopter, especially since its autopilot is completely functional, and so is the iPad within that helicopter. You can actually go out and perform HEMS missions in a free flight, and you don't have to worry about, career points or passive income or how many certifications you have. By far one of my favorites. 98% for precision. There we go. That's a little better. See, but the result is still the same. Whether I'm at a 90% or a 70%, honestly, I'm still getting like an S rating across the board for these missions. Every once in a while, even though I do get that S rating, the reputation here will take a hit in the other direction, which I find funny. But here's that special mission that I keep talking about. In the reputation update, we still see the special mission as not eligible. What is the eligibility for that? GEI Ranger Fjord add-on. Okay. How much was that? I also don't like how this number doesn't keep up in real time. It doesn't seem to be. Anyway. Come back, bang, there's another, 300,000 off. We're almost back into a positive configuration already. There's another 107,000. Aw, we're gonna have to spend another 40 credits to get there. I don't know, man. Should we do it? Looks like we got a little bit of more weather out here. The waves are a little bit choppier today. We should run this bird through the old mechanic shop for a second. Start off with a little bit of fuel. Earn that $2,000 right back. Thank you very much. We don't need that much gas. Thanks for coming. Oh, we wanted to do maintenance on it. Let's spend the $12,000. Let's see what's wrong. Nothing. I'm good with it. We'll wash it. Keep those birds maintained. It's not all that much at the end of the day. Call it your overhead. It's what keeps your business running. Come on. Here, girl. She doesn't want to move very well today. New pad. Wow, she's starting to stutter a little bit, huh? Hello, Dabna.
Engines started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
Copy that we're getting in position.
Love it. In and out. Still got a clean bird. Banking. We're just banking money.
Final brief before you leave. The backup boat is anchored just a few cables away. We need to hook and bring a gen set to the drop zone indicated on your map.
What comes with that add-on?
Captain, you're not above the target.
Yeah, I almost just whipped me onto the target as soon as I lifted off the ground. I should have just come directly over it. The wind is definitely moving my slack line.
Load secure and balanced, ready for liftoff.
Cami 11 cargo everywhere we're leaving with 2 packs. Heading to deposit zone. Tanker. Load 1,984 pounds.
Cargo everywhere received. Fly safe.
Nope. Not gonna fly safe. I'm gonna fly quick. At least hopefully.
In position. Clearance to proceed. Offload.
Green deck permission to engage offload ops.
I'm really fond of this bird. It's a real beauty. You'll see, Mav, will take great care of you. Yeah, I gave it a nickname, but sometimes it's like it's an old friend. I'm sure you feel the same way too, Captain.
No shadow to work with today. But it's all about keeping an eye on that tower to the left. That superstructure of the boat really becomes a really useful reference to where your helicopter is for the pad. Rinse, repeat. What an easy way to just rake in the money. It doesn't take as long as the passenger transport missions. No airport, only heli landing pods. I like it.
Lots of new faces down there. Hopefully they are prepared. If not, we could be in trouble.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to post links or not, but it'll happen automatically even if you do. I can just check it out by the name of it, though. It's helpful. You know what I mean? I can just search it. I appreciate the info. Anything about helicopters, I'm down for. I'll certainly take a look at it.
Great work today. You've all earned a break, guys.
I'm curious about what they're going to do with what we've just dropped. Anyway, it wouldn't be fun getting lost in this area. Conditions get to be rough when the weather turns bad.
It wouldn't be great to get lost in an area like this. I'm pretty sure you're on the wrong mission set there, Mr. Voiceover. CLI 4D Designs. Noted. Did I turn this thing off? I did. Easy, easy money. Dreams of Wings? Alright. I'll definitely check him out too, man. We've had a couple of really great contributors too. I don't know if you guys have heard of a gentleman by the name of Bossman, but Air Bossman came up with a really good tweak of the DLSS that we're using, and it has optimized my sim beyond recognition. It's the best thing I've ever done, even above and beyond a complete uninstall and reinstall. Every time I've had to do that, I will always update the DLSS first I noticed his information from Island Sim Pilot, who has a great explanation of how all of this works, but both videos in conjunction are really worth the watch. A lot of really, really good information as far as the stability of your stream, ghosting in your graphics. I mean, the two of them really came up with some ingenious methods to get DLSS working properly. I did have a video out there about the smooth, buttery graphics of my 2080 Ti. If you go back into this channel's history, I have links to both of them in those videos. Yeah, Island Sim Pilot's great, man. He's a fun watch every time. I'll take 91, 98, 100. There's another nice solid S. Another $140. That S is moving in the right direction. Nearly at 230. I know that one of my followers, SoCal, I think is who it was, his pilot rating was like a 244. I was like, how did you get there so fast? Now I know. See, but even after I clear out this one mission, look what else is waiting for me. There's just so many more. I'm just in one little nook, but this is all in one bay in the Gulf of Mexico. I could do this literally all day and never run out of missions. And if I do run out of missions here, I can just go up to a different set that I've got in Alaska. I mean, but this is the only way I've found to really earn this money this quickly. Passively and while you're in the employer side of things, not employee side. You want to be the freelancer doing these missions. Spending as little money as you can to transport yourself around, maintaining your aircraft. And what I'm going to do here in a little bit is actually manage all of my aircraft. So I've been flying these for quite a while now, and I am keeping up with this H125 Cargo. This time around, I'm just going to wash it. Then I'm going to fly this mission. When I come back from this, what I'm going to do is actually manage all of the aircraft in my entire company, because we've been in the air now for a while. So I want to make sure that the maintenance on those aircraft is also maintained, so we don't wind up with an aircraft that we can no longer use.
Engines started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
Copy that we're getting in position.
You ever thought about playing hide and seek? I thought about doing some of
Crew has
this.
checked your rotorcraft and secured the helideck. The service tanker just arrived. They brought a brand new gen set for us.
Put a little more gas in that thing just because. I think it sounds like a good idea.
Yokai 3. Cargo everywhere, leaving WFD 350 port with 2 packs. Reaching pickup zone in approximate 30 seconds.
Cargo everywhere. This is Yokai 3, received. 30 seconds up. Winds 6 knots. 2 packs on board. No refueling required.
Looks like we got another long stack of tubes.
Yokai 3 cargo everywhere requesting pickup clearance.
Green deck, everything cleared now.
It's already here.
You're in the perfect position. Keep it steady.
Don't tell me what to do.
Load checks.
We'll make a great team with this Hello.
Okay.
Don't worry, little chopper of ours. We'll treat you right, won't we, Captain?
The little chopper of
I know.
ours.
I call it little chopper of ours. It's like it's alive.
What? Who writes this?
Yokai 3 cargo everywhere, leaving port with 2 packs en route to WFD 350 platform. Load 1,543 pounds.
The little chopper of
Cargo
ours.
everywhere nice. Duty call,
What?
see you around.
Come on. They got nothing but AI just in the background writing scripts. I love it. They've got so much money, but they can't afford to hire a voiceover artist.
In position. Clearance to proceed offload.
Clearance.
Green deck permission to engage offload ops.
Start to get a lot of stuttering on those graphics as these communications come through.
Lots of new faces down there. Hopefully they are prepared. If not, we could be in trouble.
You just hush your mouth. I didn't even hear it hit the ground that time. That thing just whispered.
Hook removed, load secure.
I don't care if it's a
That's
gold
one item off
helicopter
the
or not,
list.
man. That was
Work's moving
platinum.
along nicely. Time for a good break now, guys.
I'm curious. For the most part, yes, Centurion, the weather is pretty doable every single time. Every once in a while, you'll catch a little bit of wind, but it's nothing that you can't manage. These are pretty consistently just super easy to rinse and repeat. There's no bugs in it. Every once in a while you'll get the duplicated voiceover from base, but there's nothing wrong with these missions at all.
The former one was down, so just replace it, and we'll have power again for our morning coffee.
Anyway, it wouldn't be fun getting lost in this area.
Conditions get to
be rough when the weather turns bad.
Right, you're getting two different voiceovers happening simultaneously. That's like the worst thing that happens with these missions, ever. I've had one helipad come in with the cargo just on the wire mesh around the side of the helipad, and it was on an angle. But I restarted the mission, and the cargo righted itself on the deck, and I just did it, it was no problem. Yeah, the timing on that was pretty good, right? Boom, bada bang. "72% for integrity is offensive. But I don't care. Score me however you want. I'm still gonna walk away with how much money? Up, 106. Rough. Do I take a hit? Sure. Not bad. Moving on. We're approaching the 230 mark. Says we're negative 380, but if we go in and analyze our companies one more time, let's go ahead and do some management. So we're going to do this to all of my aircraft. I don't care what the cost is. When I started this, I had 1.1 million. Now I have 1.6. Right? I want to make sure that all of these aircraft are just taken care of. I'm going to wash and maintain every one of these helicopters. Well, I've never said you need to be subscribed in any way, shape, or form, but man, if you want to be, feel free. I appreciate you being here, Centurion. It's good to have you along for the ride. Everything seems to be coming along nicely. I don't care if you think this is a little bit too much money to spend. This is what you need to do to keep your aircraft running. I'm going to do the same thing over here to the Cabri, even though I haven't flown it. Somebody else is. Checkup's only 30, and here we go. There's a problem with this aircraft. I'm going to maintain it for the little 10 G's that it is. I'm going to wash that bad boy back up, put it back in the mix, keep that thing running. Come back down. We'll do that to a couple of our search and rescue choppers at the same time. I've never said it. Not ever. It's not my jam, man. If you want to, you can. You don't have to. Boom. Every single one of these things is just got to be done. Still sitting at 1.4. So even though I've been doing this for quite a while now, right? I've technically only earned a little bit over 300,000 since we started this stream doing this. However, you also have to realize that there's hundreds of thousands being made passively off of all of these aircraft simultaneously. And now that all that maintenance is done, I could do some more of these missions. Because they're flipping everywhere. And I'll be back at the 2 million mark here in 5 more missions. I could technically at that point have added 2 aircraft in 1 day. It's not going to do me any favors because that one won't have as much flight time for passive income. But the point is just how quickly the money can be made and how soon you can add more aircraft to your hangar. And if this isn't the path that you want to take, even if you want to go down the fixed wing side of things, these missions don't take long at all. This is a great way to earn money just for anything, because all of these aircraft can be sold for over $1 million. But I want the Sky Crane. I want the Ericsson. I want to be running some other missions. Search and rescue, fire. I think is going to be a super good time. Wow. Hello, graphics much? Come on back. There we go. Good girl. Ooh. Hello, governor. It does not like this helipad. I am getting the stuttery graphics on this one for sure. But I think as I let it kind of just go and start to cash all it in, it'll be fine. That same thing has been happening with all of the fixed wings. Certain airports, you will get this just awful experience while you're on the ground.
Please be ready.
But then all of a sudden, as soon as you take off, it's smooth graphics again. I've noticed the same thing happening in some of the flight seeing missions where you come into your hold short. And as all of those communications are happening, the whole simulator turns into like less than a frame a second.
And your heli. The replenishment tanker is stationed nearby. We need to hook and bring a gen set to the drop zone indicated on your map.
The other thing that I really enjoy about these missions is there is no hold short. I don't have to listen to ATC or do all that nonsense. You know what I mean? This is just, it's so quick. More tubes, and I'm just gonna go right over the top of these from a low hover. The ground effect. See, here's one that we're talking about. I kind of saw this coming. The ground effect on this pad is in a bizarre configuration.
Net is secured.
It's very, very abrupt the closer you get to the edge. And I mean extremely abrupt. Even though the weather isn't bad right now, the ground effect on this helipad is strong. Just throwing me straight up into the air. It's something you really just need to watch out for and be ready for on your collective.
Goliath 1 cargo everywhere. We're leaving with 2 packs. Heading to deposit zone. Tanker. Load 1,543 pounds.
The helis are the best part of it, if you ask me, man. There's just a better experience to it. even the search and rescue missions in the fixed wing, they're so hard to accomplish. The ground physics, I mean, it throws your bush plane around like it's some kind of hockey puck. I've had some success with the medevac missions in the PC 24, I think. That wasn't that bad. But I was doing those on the employee side to earn money. And this is what's replaced that.
I love this
Houston
hello.
clearance
It's a beast.
to engage.
Rusty's in
Offload
good hands
operation.
with us. Right, Captain? Yeah, I call her Rusty. Just an old habit.
Green deck permission to engage offload ops.
Oh, I got this one swinging pretty good. At the wrong time. I'm just curious if you guys intentionally write in the chat as soon as I'm trying to drop a load, because I'm just laughing in my head right now because I want to read the chat. I saw it pop up, but at the same time I'm dropping, you know, a load of pipes. Do you guys do that intentionally? Because it's really funny in my head right now.
Net unstowed, load secure.
See, but when you run employee missions too, Jared, you're not making passive income.
Lots of new faces down there. Hopefully, they are prepared. If not, we could be in trouble.
The only way you earn passive income as an employee is if you only have one aircraft. I have tried to do that before, and it seemed like it was working earlier on to be that way if you had more than one aircraft, but I think that has been fixed since. And the only way I'm earning passive money is this if I keep running in like missions of my own. It is just a little bit hysterical that I'm almost every single time I'm over a helipad, someone's like, "Hey, what color is the bedroom?" And you know, even hilarious. What kind of graphics card do you have?
Probably sent everything for recycling or maintenance.
Anyway, it wouldn't be
For
fun
sure.
getting lost in this area. Conditions get to be
The
rough
tanker
when
crew is
weather
heading
turns
out and
bad.
sends their compliments for this efficient operation. Drop by when you're ready.
Or
We'll
when
go
I'm
over these
landing.
stats
Here we go,
together.
right again. I love it.
You'll be happy with them. Trust me.
As far as specs for the computer, I've got a Ryzen Threadripper 2950X, 128 gigabytes of RAM on a 2080 Ti graphics card. And it's doing quite well. Well, thank you very much. I think what helps out my simulator the best is actually the 128 gigabytes of RAM. Because this is a multi-threaded process too, so between that and having a 32-thread processor are coming in handy. NVIDIA is going to try to continue to do that with their cards, even though they're coming out with some groundbreaking new technology. What I want to try to do is find a duplicate 2080 Ti with the one I have right now and bridge the two together so I can bump my 11 gigabytes of VRAM up to 22 and then push everything to Ultra, plus I want all of those texture sliders to be above 100%. I want to push this thing to its absolute limit graphically and then get into VR. Easy, easy money. I think any helicopter in VR would be incredible. Specifically for me, I think the Sky Crane will be the best simply because it has that pop-out window on the side for those crane missions. Right? Even though we have, you know, this capability here and we've got that floor window, I don't think that experience would be as good as actually poking your head out the side of the Sky Crane. Oh, Jared, I absolutely get it. I know exactly what you mean. What's crazy is I'm in video content creation and live streams, and I'm a technical director, video editor, camera operator for a job, right? That's what I do. And for me to be sitting at home right now basically doing the exact same thing is along those same lines, but again, it just comes down to if you love what you do, you don't work. So yeah, whatever. I love it. IT though, that's something that is just mind-bending. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Centurion. We've almost got it there. We're only 194,982 credits in the hole. Things are going extremely well. And how far away is it to get another mission? Not far. I love it. It's endless. It's absolutely endless. It's a little bit more expensive this time around. We're going to have to dish out a whopping 1,150 credits to get there. Don't use sim rate, Jared, okay? So when you're doing that, you're actually damaging your passive income at the same time. Don't use sim rate. I've even tried to do that on some of those 13-hour missions with the 737, and it does nothing positive for you at all. Right, I don't want to do those 6-hour missions either. Those missions are earning about as much as I'm earning in about 10 minutes. And there's 0 flaws. I've been running this stream now for almost 2 hours, and I've never stopped having missions. I've never crashed. I've never had to stop at a hold short or taxi to the end of a runway 1.5 miles away. It's just $100,000 after $100,000 in 10-minute increments. Well, not necessarily less repairs. I just tend to do them more frequently. So that's why I have to do less. I keep up with them more frequently so they don't become more costly when they happen. This is the greatest thing I've done to my career since I've had to restart my career. It's just easy money. Once you get the hang of these cargo missions, man, it's so much fun. It's challenging as hell, but come on, man. This is easy money.
Engine started preparing for takeoff. Please be ready.
And now that I've got 6 aircraft running, these are all pulling 100K plus a day.
Final brief before you
in
leave.
Passive income.
The service tanker just arrived. They need to collect our old gen set.
And eventually what I'll do is I'll take a couple rides in my flight seeing chopper just so this helicopter can earn passive income at the same time. So all of these cargo helicopters will earn passively, not just the ones I'm not flying now. Because technically, my company has been running only 1 aircraft for the last 2.5 hours. So this aircraft won't earn money passively, but if I give this aircraft a break, as far as me being its pilot, right, I'm gonna want to make sure that it gets a break and earns money passively at the same time, because it's earning me buku bucks right now in real time. So Jared, how does the employee system work with passive income? So the breakdown is basically like this. The way it's supposed to work according to Microsoft, right? If you only own 1 aircraft in your company, you can earn passive income as an employee, not a freelancer, right? You can still run employee missions if you only own 1 aircraft. As soon as you buy your 2nd aircraft, the only way you can earn passively is to be flying your own aircraft as a freelancer.
Hello in perfect position. Don't move.
Initially, we had seen it was earning a percentage of
Cargo
the income.
properly secured. Weight distribution on point for a safe flight.
Now, if I try to fly anything and only employee missions, I'm not going to earn anything passively the following day because I have multiple aircraft.
1,323 pounds.
Cargo everywhere Poseidon 6 received. Safe flight back.
Hopefully that makes sense. There was a chart. Let's see if I can find that. There was a chart out there about passive incomes and how much each one of them made. Right here. But this is telling a fallacy as well, because if you'll notice, there's a lot of these career options on this chart that are completely unavailable, right? There's some that aren't even listed.
We'll make a great team with this hello. Don't worry, buddy. We'll treat you right, won't we, Captain? Yeah, I know. I call it buddy. It's like it's alive.
Yep. Especially with the PC-24, I would come up to a landing of that, and the landing gear would stop working, so I would have to drive off the end of the runway to get the landing gear to, like, steer again. Yep. No more hold shorts, no more ATCs, no more of that stuff. This is just one mission after another, positively earning money. No questions asked. And there are always missions available. Even though I'm going to clear out most of these missions in a 24-hour period, every 24 hours they respawn. Now, this is a search and rescue helicopter channel. However, at this point, no matter how many search and rescue helicopters I have on the planet right now, I am not getting the number of missions that I want. It's like one over here, one over there. I would need so many helicopters.
Lots of new faces down
and
there.
I'm not there yet.
Hopefully they are prepared. If not, we could be in trouble.
I think landing any of the aircraft for me is a little bit difficult. I mean, just to land the Grand Caravan hard, yeah. But I've landed all of them hard. Vision Jet even, I had one of those a while back and sold it. I did do one of the PC-24 missions that was so long, I wound up having to land at night, and that runway wound up to be one of those that's a little bit too short, ends in gravel, barely made the landing. You broke the landing gear and toppled forward and crashed it into the ground. Yep, the best thing you could do at that point to save yourself the passive income the next day is immediately hit the escape key on your keyboard, or whatever it takes to get you back into the menu, and then do a restart before it actually kills your mission. I've heard some people, I'm going to say his name was Derek, actually recommended doing a force app close through Alt F4, which I do not recommend. You could simply just restart as soon as you realize something is going wrong. Your passive income is still going to recognize that as flight time.
Probably send everything for recycling or maintenance.
Just dropped.
For sure.
Anyway, it wouldn't be fun getting lost in this area. Conditions get to be rough when the weather turns bad.
Yep. It does kill you, and not only that, but even though, you know, you've got out of the simulator before it recognizes it, when you come back in the next time, your reputation immediately takes a hit.
Work's moving along nicely.
Restart is the only way.
Time for a good break now, guys.
Why you would do a force app close is really kind of beyond me. But doing that demonstration live was pretty epic. Because it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. The replacement of the aircraft was like 790 credits or something like that. It was practically nothing to replace the aircraft after a crash. Like, oh, big deal. I have over 1 million credits. What's less than 800 credits going to do to me? Basic insurance and only basic insurance. Go with nothing else. Stay as far away from premium as you possibly can. Especially when I'm running missions like this, where I know I can get in and out of this helicopter all day long without crashing it. I'm not worried about even the mid-grade insurance. It cost me practically nothing. let's see. Let's see what we can do here. I think I might actually have... So this is the insurance right here on a daily basis. All right. So here we're looking at an H125 Cargo times, okay, so this is one of those, or is it? Because you can see that it's 3,790 credits to just have that H125. That's actually 3 aircraft. Okay, then the 125 Cargo is a single aircraft, and then there's another one below there. There's 2 search and rescues, right? And then the Cabri. It's costing me absolutely nothing to run this at all. It's just not. With the middle one, it's over 7 times that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Not even a little bit. And if you can't change your insurance policy while you own the aircraft, sell the aircraft. When you can afford to buy another one and then go to basic insurance. That's one of the things I did when I had to restart my career. I was running the premium insurance, and it was charging me for flight time when I wasn't even in the simulator. And it was taking me millions and millions of credits into the hole, like on a daily basis. In 3 days, I was like 1.5 million or something like that in the hole because of insurance. 92 for precision. Yeah, nailing it. Rinse and repeat. There's another 95. The 25% discount still largely in effect, right? Because now I'm still getting even a discount, even though all of my insurance is cheap enough. By keeping it in an S so easily, I'm still getting the largest discount so far that we've seen for insurance. Absolutely. This can be like your path to getting to where you want to be. Don't get me wrong. I actually would love to be able to get into some of that VAT sim stuff too, where there are those flights. It does sound very intriguing. I would like to test those waters. Like, you know, I am a subscriber to Boss Man's channel for a reason. That dude does some incredibly long flights and has some cool stuff to offer with his channel. But, you know, this is my wheelhouse, but this would earn anybody money. It's stupid easy to keep that way. Once you learn how to do these hook missions, it might come down a little bit. Every once in a while you'll get a mission where you'll go down to an A, but it doesn't take that long to recover that. Look at how much money I've recovered and spent within this single stream. I've maintained all of my aircraft and I'm still up over 500K. It teaches you a lot, is right. Even like business management. You have to be able to manage your overhead. If you want it to take care of you, you have to take care of it. This career mode is so solid, besides the bugs, it teaches you a good amount. It's good for people like me who just didn't want to take the time to learn Flight Sim 2020. I did take the time to learn 2020, and I still think this career mode is one of the greatest things Microsoft and Asobo could have ever done. It is still in its infancy, but this thing is almost all I do, Every once in a while, I'll get in and do a free fly with the channel, and you know, we'll get everybody together. We've got some of that coming up. Hopefully, if you guys don't know what I have been working up because of our guy SAR Medic 911, we are going to get into some things. We're going to get into a little bit of stuff. He knows what he did. It was hide and seek. So the premise of this is to pick an area on the planet where we want to play hide and seek. And this is done without an EFB, and it's just like search and rescue, where you just get out there and you try to find one another on the planet live in the stream. It's super fun. We tried it out. We've got a video up about that in the history as well. Feel free to check that out. But we'll also try to do that several times here in the future, and hopefully you guys can join in. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a blast. It has been a ball. We are earning boatloads of money with a H125 Cargo configuration. We're running around the oil rigs, having a really good time. But for now, that's it. That's all. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being here.